Right, now another story that you may have caught up with, particularly last week. Lieutenant General Elias Mawela has been appointed as the new Commissioner for Police in Gauteng. And to tell us a little bit about how he's going to tackle his new position, a new job, he joins us in studio now. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so a few days into the job, but 33 years on the force. That's a lot of experience to bring to the job.
Yes, it is. August, I'll be wrapping up 34 years and start working for 35 years.
How is that experience, do you think, is going to play into this new job that you have?
I think it will assist me to can understand what the foot soldiers they go through, because I did walk the streets like they're doing right now. I did drove that patrol van like they're doing right now. You know, all the activities which they are doing, majority of that I've done that. Even though the dynamics of crime have changed from what we were doing previously, but as we are working and monitoring what is happening, definitely if we know what is happening in the country.
So what are your priorities? What's the most important thing that you need to sort out in Gauteng?
Yes, the first one, I think the people of Gauteng, they've heard, the Premier of Gauteng have said Gauteng is contributing 50% of the crime stats, of the national crime stats. And the Minister of Police said, if we are serious in addressing the national crime stats, we need to address the crime of Gauteng. So my first priority, it will be to reduce the volumes. We can't be contributing 50% of the crime stats. What about these other provinces? So I want these other provinces to can also take their shares, and then we reduce the volumes. That's number one. Number two, we must deal with the serious and violent crime in this country. I know the people of Gauteng, they are worried about that. They've seen people being mugged in the street, gun-toting people, you know, they're just running amok. People, people's houses has been invaded. So all these things, and the cash in transit heist, which were happening here in Gauteng, it's one of my second priority. The third one, obviously, it will be the organized crime. We know that Gauteng is being labeled as the gangster paradise, and there are some communities who are worshipping these people who are doing these crimes. So it will be one of the things which we need to address. The fourth one, obviously, is the drugs. Those who are supplying drugs. I'm not talking about the small fries who are using these drugs, even though we are going to address them. But I'm more worried about those who are supplying drugs to our people. And human trafficking, it's a problem because of this thing of drugs and human trafficking is interlinking. And then I will also deal with priority number 5, which is the countermeasures against corruption. Corruption within our own ranks and corruption perpetuated by people outside the service. And the last one, obviously, it will be to mobilize the community and collaboration with all stakeholders.
All right, so that's quite a list, and if you deal with them, certainly things will change dramatically. But somebody might say, but hang on, you've been in the force for 34 years. What on earth are you going to bring that's new and different now that you're the Commissioner?
No, I think it is possible. It depends on the will. And if we manage to can mobilize all stakeholders to work together with us, it is doable, it is possible. I know that my predecessors have also done some work. I'm not starting from the clean slate. I'm piggybacking on what they have done. So mine is where we have a very good relation with the community, I maintain or I take it to the next level. And where the community is hostile to our law enforcement agencies, I need to work very hard that we have them on our side. I think together with all stakeholders, definitely will make a difference in what Gauteng people are experiencing.
All right, we're seeing that some restructuring that's taking place, that the clusters are disappearing and you're having districts now. Gauteng will have 5. What will this do in combating crime?
Yes, it will assist because of we take that authority to grassroots level. We want decisions to be taken there where it matters most. We don't want these big ranks seated there, the big offices and whatever. So we want the big ranks to be down on the community and understand what this that which the community is feeling. And if the police station is having challenges, they must there and there intervene and assist the police station. If the community is having problems, they don't have to struggle and say we are reporting this thing to head office, to the national minister, to the national commissioner. They must ensure that that district commissioner attend to those things there and there. And also what is going to assist is to hold the station commissioners accountable there and there.
Is that why you'll have major generals at some of your police stations now?
Definitely, those police stations whereby we want to deploy the major generals, those are the police stations which is contributing a lot of crime. In the national top 30 police stations in the country, Gauteng is contributing 8 police stations, and it cannot be. So we want to take those 8 police stations out of that top 30.
All right, so you can see this question on Twitter here, and they're asking you, what is it that he's going to do that his predecessors didn't do properly? And that's a question I've asked you, and you've seen it being done by your predecessors. What does Elias Mawela bring, Lieutenant General?
Yeah, I'm not here to judge what my predecessors did. They've done their best. They've done their best to address the crime situation in Gauteng. For me, it's just to improve on what they have done, but not to go on public and start condemning them that they didn't do this right, they didn't do that right. In the police, we don't work like that. We take ownership of all the mistakes done by our own, and then we also celebrate all the gains done by our own.
So how do you deal with police corruption? I mean, it must be a concern to you that right now as we speak, there are senior, high-ranking police officials that are facing serious charges, forgery, and things like that. And I just wonder, if it's happening at that level, down on the foot grounds there must be more. It's almost as if there's a subculture that exists within the police of corruption. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I think you have also observed that IPT have upped their games. So they're treating everybody equally, whether with the rank or with no rank. If you are corrupt, they deal with you effectively, of which we appreciate. And then coming to the low-ranking officers, we call upon the community out there because of these people, they don't corrupt themselves. They're being corrupted by members of the community. If they're being stopped there on the street, police checking their vehicles and whatever, they're very quick to say, hey, I'll give you this amount of money. So what I'm saying to our community, I urge them not to corrupt our members, not to pay our members anything because they owe them nothing, and to report police officers who are demanding any favors from them. And it is good. We are living in these times whereby people, they have cell phones. They can take a picture of that vehicle, they can take the registration numbers, they can even take the picture of that police office and put it on the social media. Should we pick it up? We'll deal with that office.
We often hear stories of how police close ranks when one of them has done wrong and the public want to come in and intervene or say something, that the police close ranks to protect each other. How are people going to have faith and trust that if they arrive at a police station, that their case will be heard and it doesn't matter who they're pointing a finger at? Yeah,
nobody must be turned away from the police station. And should our community visit the police station and they find the service not good, we encourage the community to can phone us. On that day when I was announced, we have made our telephone numbers known public, that if the community, they are not happy, they must engage us. And I can tell you, Peter, that ever since that day, we are receiving a lot of information from our community. And if we, the leadership of the police in Gauteng, we are responsive to the concerns of the community, that's where we are going to win them back. And they'll continue to give us information. Because all those people who have reported issues to us and who have responded, I think wherever they are happy, and they are also telling the others that no, those ones can be trusted, they are very much responsive.
All right, so going forward, how are you going to start making sure that you're getting the right kind of candidate coming into the police force? Because I think that's where it starts, isn't it?
Yes.
It used to be, and I think a former police minister said that, a lot of people just was a last resort job was to be in the police. How do you get the right people?
Yeah, I think the National Commissioner now have put better recruiting strategy, whereby we will ensure that people are properly screened before they are absorbed in the service. And then also have put measures in place to ensure that he counter, because somebody can be clean before he enters the system. While in the system, you become corrupted along the way. So there will be continuous monitoring, lifestyle audit, they check how are we conducting ourselves, and put a very strong countermeasures over all of us to ensure that, no, we don't go astray.
Okay, Police Commissioner, we're going to have to leave it there, but thanks so much indeed for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck in fighting crime in Gauteng.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay.